Watch the lights then. Top of the screen, and away they go, Ben and Tom Birchall. And there were, James, you said to me, spits of rain in the air. Was that not right?
Definitely some rain in the air. Absolutely spots outside. Yep.
John, you've just had an outing in the Ducati race, came home in a very respectable place. Great place, Cadwell Park. A bit tight maybe for chairs, eh?
Yeah, they were just saying, I was talking to Ben yesterday and he was a little bit nervous about racing around here, and he said, well, he loves it. He loves the place. I love the place. You know, had a great ride on my Ducati in the top 6. A few little spits of rain there going into park, so it could be a bit sketchy.
I didn't get to look at any tyre choice, James, and you've been sitting in here with me, so you haven't either. We don't know what they're using.
I think all slicks, to be quite honest. I didn't see anything other, but it was a while since I was out there, so maybe he had chance for a few of the crews to change, but I think we can assume slicks, it hasn't done that much yet.
Well, Ben and Tom Birchall then out on that Hayth Honda. That's the CBR 600, which they've dry sumped. They've got it very low, inclined, so that the crankshaft, the heaviest thing, is the lowest point and lowest centre of gravity.
Yeah, that's for the handling of the machine. The dry sump is about the fact that if you have a wet sump, these things, not like a solo where everything stays in balance, these things have a lot of side push around the corners like a car would, so if you have a wet sump it sloshes to one side and the oil pump tends to pick air up and do the engine in, so you have to dry sump them.
John, I know you're fascinated by three wheels. In fact, you're fascinated by anything on 2, 1 or any sort of motorcycle, but they've always intrigued you, haven't they? Look at that was Scott Lorry. That was Scott Lorry on the grass at number 72. Has he survived that? Because he's only just rebuilt the bike from a big punt at the Cadwell Revival. Yes, he has. He and Shelley still going.
Yeah, that was a heart in your mouth moment there on the grass coming out of the hairpin. But yeah, they've gathered it all up and back to it. Yeah, I love three wheels. You know, I've had a little bit of a going one, and there's a replay now, so just looking a little bit wide on the bit of grass tracking. Need some knobblies on there.
Luckily he kept the driving wheel mostly on the tarmac.
And through on the inside went Phil Bell and Jimmy Connell on the number 18 outfit. Second place, Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosny ahead of the Santander Salt number 5, Rob Biggs and Jerome Schmitz. Then the green Kawasaki. Then it's John Holden, TT winner. You know all about that. Cadwell Park surely's got a little bit of Isle of Man around it.
Yeah, it just needs a few more trees around it, doesn't it? A few walls and we'll be flying.
A lamppost.
But yeah, John's so enthusiastic. I always make an effort to walk around the sidecar paddock and go and see John. And I don't know how old he is, and you probably be able to tell me, but it starts with a 6, doesn't it?
6-0.
Yes. But he's still really enthusiastic about it, and he loves the TT, he just loves being on his bike. And is his lad out there as well? Young
George.
Yeah, he's 9th, so he's in the top 10 as well.
Well, 2 weeks ago here, James, George Holden beat his father fair and square from behind in race 2.
Oh, Dad's never like that.
I spoke to him about that. He was full of excuses.
Lads, there's a little bit more rain coming down now because it was just out at the furthest part away from us here, out at Park Corner. Now the rain is falling in this area. Flags are out just about all the way around, certainly bottom of the mountain.
Well, it's going to be interesting. This is going to slow the Birchalls down. They're not 132. That's fairly impressive. That's not a million miles outside their. In fact, it's inside their lap record.
Yeah.
So they've gone around at lap record pace.
John will tell you better than me. It's a long time since I raced, but they're looking and they'll be seeing spots of rain on the visor. There's no screens on these things, so it will be on the visors. They'll know it's coming. But there is a portion of time between it starting to rain and the track getting actually wet, where you've still got as much grip and you've just got to ignore it.
Yeah, it's like psychological rain at the minute. There's plenty of heat in there, there's plenty of warmth in the tyres. But this morning I went out when it was just slightly drizzling. The track went from like being grippy to so greasy straight away. It was really strange.
And in fact, when a track first gets wet, it tends to be a little bit greasier and slippier and more difficult to read than when it's absolutely soaking wet.
It was, yeah. But, they've got the cut. 32.2. That's a lap record, is it? That's faster than the thousands we're going?
Yeah, look at Phil Bell on the inside underneath Ruben Archer. That's a tricky place. That's where 2 weeks ago everybody got it wrong. They went stonking around on the opening lap. It was damp just like it is now, and you can see the way he was snaking there. The back was moving around all the way into there. Right on the back, there is George Holden. So Holden Jr. on the back, the number 93 outfit. Let's just have a look. Now, does he struggle to get it stopped?
No, it's a nice move. Really, it was clean, yeah.
Very clean move.
I think he was a bit more confident. Maybe just went in with a bit more confidence than you other guys, seen in a few spots.
Ignoring the rain a bit more.
Exactly. Well, you said it.
Looking at the battle for second then, Rob Biggs in the final podium position, the number 5 Santander Salt Blue bike. Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney, always so reliable, always so fast on their Yamaha. That Kawasaki there in 4th place. This is where the action is. Right at the back of the bunch, we've got that Ride F2, the Dean Ride built chassis with a number 62 of Chris Wright and Paul Bailey on board. But it's too busy up front to move back and have a look at them at the moment, because this is a cracking battle for second place, is it not, fellas?
Yeah, I was chatting with John Holden. He's sitting there in 5th at the minute, and we've just been talking about his age. We're going to kind of character assassinate him a little bit more by saying he's had a knee replacement. It's been some months now, but he says it never hurts. It's been perfect. However, it does hurt when he's on the outfit, because he's kneeled in there with his leg bent double and it never moves from start of the race to finish.
Every time I go and see him, he's got like version 2, version 3, version 4. He's got
of the shape of it,
all these little different variations to get himself comfortable. But I tried to help him out a little bit. I sent him to the physio in Manchester that does a lot of the Red Bull athletes and Monster athletes. So he's been getting a little bit better. Looks like there's a little bit more rain as well at the bottom of the mountain.
Oh, definitely, definitely coming.
Well, now that his son's beaten him, he'll really step up that physiotherapy, I can assure you. Definitely. Look at that. There is John Holden now. And Jason Pitt, his young passenger, does a great job. Look at him on the inside.
Has he got the drive?
Swings it round down towards Barn. Yes, he has. Moves his way through. That's a brilliant, brilliant move. He suddenly got determined then, didn't he? Because he wanted it.
He's a determined bugger, yeah. He really gives gas. He's in the slipstream now. Going to have a look back at him, but they'll have to get the bit of polish out to polish the swap in a bit of paint there.
There was a little bit of rubbing there, wasn't there?
Well, Ben Holland's a big lad. He doesn't mind. He can take it on the chin. So the Kawasaki's been pushed back one place. Let's have a look. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I think he just run a little bit deep into there, and he just in the gap, and he was going straight through it, whether he liked it or not. But yeah, good clean move, hard move, but you have to take the opportunities, especially on this narrow track in Cadwell on an outfit.
Well, you said it. It is narrow, isn't it? Here's the 62 outfit. This is the Ride F2. Dean Ride, father of Carl Ride, he's got a billet engineering business. Billet.com has built this chassis box section very like a Windle rather than an LCR.
It's good to see, because LCR really have had the monopoly on it for years and years, haven't they? So it's good to see some other makers in there.
Yeah, Sean Ride, which is Kyle Ride, the solo front runner's dad.
Have I got it wrong?
An unbelievable. He's called Sean, and he's unbelievably good at welding and fabricating. He's made me one or two things, not for the purposes of racing, but pretty to look at, and it works about.
Okay.
He's the guy on the spanners, isn't he, for Ben and Tom Birchall?
Correct.
Well.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Dean Ride's no relation?
I don't. I actually. They're both good fabricators if they are.
Okay. All right. My apologies for that, but bit of misunderstanding, yeah, but no misunderstanding about what's going on at the front. The Birchalls on their Hayth Honda already with an absolute string of victories. They've only been beaten twice this year, and that was here 2 weeks ago by Tom Ellis.
Yeah, I think he's indicating to the race organisers past the start and finish there that the rain is coming down a little bit. Certainly a little hand poked out the tub there, didn't it?
It did, yeah, but still looks good, doesn't it? They look good together, them two boys. I mean, they're just class acts.
Yeah. And they are good lads. They work on their own stuff, they build their own outfit, they drive their own vans, and that's why I love these Sidecar lads.
Well, now they're responsible for the LCR manufacture and distribution. It's a big responsibility, and it weighs heavily, I would think, with them.
You know that Ben's moved up to the Lake District. How does that work then?
Yeah, he lives in Wigton, a place called Wigton, in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't believe it. But he's got a lovely place. He's built a nice workship up there.
Yeah. But he's a long way from his brother, who does have to work at the... Does he travel every day?
He might be on more wages, Tom, you never know. If you ever want a glass of wine or whatever at midnight in the paddock as well, it's always normally the epicentre of the paddock as well, so you can you've always got some treats on, a couple of beers, a bit of red wine and some crisp and stuff.
I was just going to say, I bet your tipple's a nice Rioja or something there, John, isn't it?
As long as it's free, I'm alright.
Hey fellas, I'll just go and have a cup of coffee, shall I? We're watching John Holden here on the back of Rob Biggs now, making really good progress through the field into fourth place, but fancies a podium. And I can't remember the last time John Holden was on the podium. I think it was probably here, Cadwell, 2018, maybe 19. But that day, his partner in the team was Lewis Blackstock. They were both running in SBR Silicon Engineering colours. Now Blackstock is on a red bike.
I'm not sure he'll mind me saying it, but it looks like the knee's getting a little bit better, because I would have thought Cadwell would be a real physical track here on your body.
It is, but you know it's physical on a solo, and it's going to be just as physical on a sidecar, I would have said.
Look at John Holden then. John Holden right there.
The wife's been doing a bit of
Yeah,
running,
the
hasn't she, for
red flag, I
charity?
think, boys, and I think that's because of the rain coming down, I think.
Yep, 7 laps then. This will be a result. The weather conditions have dictated that we draw a line under proceedings here with another victory for Ben and Tom Birchall. The gap 6.9 seconds.
I bet John's spewing. John Holden will be growling now.
Yeah, because I think he would have been hoping it'd rain a bit more and the race would have kept going another lap, because he would have
He was,
thought,
he was having a look,
he was
wasn't he?
looking, wasn't
He
he?
was looking racing.
Yeah.
Well, busy stuff. There it is then. Race winners, Ben and Tom Birchall. Yet another victory. That moves them on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 victories from 10 races. Not too shabby in the 2021 Molson Group Championship season.
I was talking to him last night as well, and he just wants a challenge. You know, he wants some other riders in there. He feels a little bit embarrassed that
Yeah, and like all these sidecar lads, they want the sidecar class to do well, and they'll help anybody getting involved.
Listen,
it's great doing the winning, isn't it? But
I'm going to get both you fellas in a sidecar outfit.
I'm driving.
If it kills
I'm driving.
I'm not getting on the side of him.
you are definitely.
And if you put him in the sidecar and me in the flipping driver's seat, he'd just spin round in circles.
Well, just cable tie me in. I'll just sit there like Rolf Billand's passenger. Remember that in that Beale thing? He just sat there like a bloody.
Yeah, he did.
You are listening, folks, to the voices of John McGuinness and James Whittam, two of our epics and icons from the world of motorcycle racing here in the UK for various reasons and varying reasons, but great to have them alongside me in what was a very short, sharp and frantic sidecar race won by Ben and Tom Birchall. It was never in doubt from the moment they left the line. It was never in doubt from the moment they set that incredible 1:31.3 pole position time, and there it is, confirmed after just 10 minutes of racing. Oh, I'm worn out. Blackstock and Biggs. That's the podium. John Holden might feel a little bit cheated because he was definitely closing in and had a sniff of the podium ahead of Holland, Scott Lorry, Phil Bell, Jimmy Connell, Archer, Holden Jr. and Peach and Edwards.